Joey, just what was your reaction when you found out that you had been traded to the Yankees?
Yeah, I've been hearing for some time that it was a possibility that New York was in play for me. And, I grew up a huge Yankee fan. My family's from New York. So it was pretty surreal that they told me I was going to the Yankees. So it's a great opportunity and an amazing team to be a part of. So I'm excited for it.
What is it about this opportunity that excites you the most?
Yeah, I think it's, playing with the guys that are on this team. Just walking into the locker room, looking at the nameplates, and it's, Stanton, Brett Gardner, Chapman, Garrett Cole, Aaron Judge. It's pretty amazing to be a part of a team like that. So, like I said, I just want to be, a part of that mold and try to find ways to win games for the team. So it's exciting to be a part of that.
Brian Hoke, you have the next question.
Hey, Joey. First of all, how was shaving to be a part of the Yankees here?
No, it was. I literally had just gotten a haircut that day, and I had the beard trim, everything, and then I think 3 hours later they're like, hey, you got traded, you're going to New York. I was like, oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to shave this. So I went home and had to do it on my own. I should probably have a professional do it at some point, but it's that's part of one of the rules when you play in New York, and I don't mind doing it. I haven't faced in about 10 years. So,
and you mentioned you were a Yankee fan growing up. So what are your favorite Yankee memories? Who were your guys that you rooted for?
Yeah, I was the captain, man. Derek Jeter was my idol. Still haven't got to meet him. I guess maybe I can meet him here at some point. But he was a guy that I really always looked up to, and I always I ended up being a different type of player than him, but I always try to handle the game and respect the game and play it the way he does and the way he handles fans and whatnot. It's always something that I've looked up to. So Derek Jeter was definitely my guy.
Thank you.
And David Huff, you have the next question.
Hey, Joey, welcome. What is your, you mentioned your family has New York ties. Can you just let us know what those are?
Yeah, so my family, they grew up in Long Island. So I didn't get to spend much time in New York. I think I only went a couple times. I was born in Las Vegas. They moved out there, but they were born in Long Island. My mom, I think Brentwood is where she was from. So I remember I had to get a little quiz yesterday. I was like, Mom, make sure you tell me where you're from, because I'm not really familiar much with the New York area. But yeah, so my mom's from Brentwood, but my whole family, they're Long Island, and they grew up Yankee fans. Everything was New York sports. So yeah, like I said, it's exciting to be here.
Thank you.
John Schwartz, you have the next question.
Hey, Joey, welcome. Obviously, it's not like in a situation like yours, you have any control of where you're going. But when you think of your swing and you think of Yankees Stadium, how much are you looking forward to getting to do that many times this season?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, it's Yankee Stadium is known to be like a good park to hit. So I feel like I don't really hit too many balls dead down the right field line. I usually, when I'm hitting for power, it's using the middle of the field and center and right center and whatnot. But I think it's exciting. I think even from a defensive standpoint, not having as much ground, I guess, to cover as we did in Globe Life Field. But yeah, no, it's exciting. You kind of, you watch those games growing up, and guys hitting balls out to right field and that short porch and whatnot. It should be fun. So I'm not like putting any thought into it. It's just, for me, I just want to go up and take good at bats and let things happen from there.
And secondly, you mentioned seeing the nameplates of some of those big names. Any interaction so far? Any chance to get to know some of these guys yet?
Yeah. So I got to meet everybody already, and I know Aaron Judge really well. Obviously, I played with Rugi, so I knew him a little bit. But Chapman, Garrett Cole, I've known from being in the All-Star game with them and getting to interact with them there. So it's exciting to see them again. So everybody's been just awesome and so open to us being here and welcoming for us. So that's exciting. I feel like already at home, I don't feel too nervous at all. It's it's just like interacting with with friends again. So it's nice that they're doing that for me and Joely, and I'm sure Rizzo that's coming in too.
Brendan Cuddy, you have the next question.
Hey, Joey, so is it your anticipation that you're going to play left?
I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think when I talked to Booney, I'm going to play left. I think as of right now, I might be playing a little right, just trying to get acclimated with the team and whatnot. But it's what he told me was I'm probably going to be, the left fielder, and that's completely fine with me. I'm cool with that.
And are you going to wear 13?
So yeah, I am 13. I walked in there, and then I'm number 13. So it's exciting. I've been a number for my whole life essentially. So it's pretty cool that number was available to wear here.
And you're a Yankees fan. Is there? I mean, it's Alex's old number. Did that run through your head at all, or were you an Alex fan?
Yeah. So I mean, growing up, obviously, huge Yankee fan, and Derek Jeter was always, the number I wanted to be, number 2. And, I liked Alex Rodriguez as well. He was a player I tried to emulate. I played third base and whatnot, hit home runs, and number 2 was always taken on every team. So, 13 from when I was probably 10 years old has been my number. So that was just kind of the number that I went to, and kind of found luck with that number.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan Martin, you have the next question.
Joey, obviously, Rizzo is another big addition. Both of you left-handed hitters coming to the Yankees. What do you think the two of you bring to this lineup that maybe they were missing before?
I can't speak to anything, missing. When I was with Texas, I didn't really focus too much on, I guess, other teams. You kind of focus on that team that you're on and winning for that team. And but I think for me, and I know Rizzo well, just playing against him, he's just a competitive at bat every time. Guy who works hard, plays the game the right way, gets on base, and obviously hits for power. So I think any lineup can use that. So for me, that's what I want to try to bring over. I know that's what he wants to try to bring over, is just having good competitive at bats, getting on base, and just kind of being there every day to support and be in the lineup and play good defense. That's why they brought us over. So that's the goal for us.
When the trade became official, Boone said that he paid a lot of attention to you during that 4-game series in Texas. And, did you have any sense that you could wind up here a couple of months later?
No, I really didn't. I think I'm pretty sure that's the series that I tripped and fell at first base. I did some dumb things that series that was I'm surprised they were interested in me still. But I think you don't really think about that while you're playing. You just kind of go, and especially when you're playing against the Yankees, it's always a exciting series. So I didn't really think too much about possibility of me being there. That kind of just started up late last week, where it seemed like New York was a spot that I could land. But like I said, I'm happy to be here, and Booney said he was watching me that whole series and was impressed. So I wasn't thinking too much about it, but I'm glad they were watching me.
Marley Rivera, you have the next question.
Hi, Joey. It's good to see you. Can you walk us through the last 24 hours, including shaving your beard?
Oh, yeah. So I think today's Friday. So I found out Wednesday. Shaved my beard Wednesday night. I just had to see what it would look like. I had to make sure. And it was, it's not great, but not as bad as I initially thought it might look. But then last night or yesterday was, just packing up and saying goodbye to everybody. It was emotional. It was emotional Wednesday night, and because I spent 10 years with that organization, and made a lot of really good friends, and I care a lot about the people there. But for me, it's a new part of the journey now, and I'm very excited to be here in New York. And it was just a lot of packing, trying to get my car ready and shipped up to New York, and making sure I was on time for my flight so I didn't miss it here to Miami. And that's really about it.
And Joey, Obviously, everyone talks about your home runs and your power, but how much pride do you take on your defense and that Gold Glove?
Yeah, no, I take a lot of pride in that. That's something that I think for me, most people don't think that I can play defense, and they don't think that I can move around well and whatnot. And even Booney told me that he was surprised by the way I could move for how big I was. And I take pride in that, because I don't want to just be a slugger. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want to do more on the field than just hit home runs. I just happen to have an odd, I guess, offensive trait where I can hit home runs, and whatnot. But it doesn't mean I'm not a complete baseball player in terms of being able to play multiple positions and being able to run the base as well. I take pride in being a baseball player, not just a slugger, I guess you can say. Thank you.
Next question goes to Eric Boland.
Joey, you're a guy known for his prodigious home runs, as you just mentioned. What are your thoughts on joining a lineup with Judge and Stanton in particular? And what have you admired about some of the balls they've hit that you've seen from afar over the years?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, just looking at like the lineup, I remember somebody texting me, "Hey, congrats, you're going to be in this lineup with, Judge and Stanton." And I'm looking at the names like, wow, like that's like an all-star lineup, it's insane. The players in that lineup, and playing against Stanton and Judge over the years, I know in old Texas, they hit some balls that, I didn't really want to watch how far they went, honestly, because it was insane. But even hitting the cage with Stanton, I mean, it's just incredible how hard that guy hits the ball. I can hit the ball hard, but man, those, Stanton and Judge, those guys are just like superhuman strength in the way they can hit. So I'm excited to watch them, and be a part of that as well. But just the firsthand see those guys work it's going to be fun.
Randy Miller, you have the next question.
Joey, your walk rate is up this year. I think the highest has ever been on base, thus as highest. Is there any adjustments that you made to get on base more? And do you think that was something that was needed if you're going to hit a lot of home runs, have a low batting average, that you told yourself, I need to get on base more?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me right now, I obviously don't hit for a super high average. And I think as players, you kind of need to recognize, what are things that I can do to offset certain things that I might not do well. And for me, I can play good defense. I can get on base. If I don't hit a lot of singles, I can walk, and that's kind of the same as a single. I'm on base, I'm on first base as well. I didn't even have to really swing. And then obviously hit for power. But yeah, I knew in Texas I was going to be kind of a target and a vocal point of what they're going to attack me, and they're not, a lot of teams weren't going to let me beat them. And I kind of understood that. And that was something that we had talked about with the hitting coaches, where I was going to have to really hone in on swinging at strikes and being smart about when I'm swinging, what pitches I'm swinging at. So yeah, I try to offset the fact that I don't hit for a high average with other things that I can do on the field to be productive for the team and help them win.
Thank you.
Andy Murdy, you have the next question.
Hi, Joey. You obviously have a certain frame of reference for the Yankees from watching them growing up to playing against them. And you saw them, I know it's been over 2 months now since you've seen them, but this group hasn't, taken off yet. They're only a few games over 500, have been kind of third, fourth place. I'm wondering from where you sat watching them this year, whether it was playing against them in that series or watching different things during the course of the year, what you've seen from this team and kind of where they are right now.
I think, like I said earlier, it's when I was playing for a different team, obviously, I wasn't really too focused on what other teams were doing. I don't really like to pay too much attention. I know when we played them in Texas, all I could hear was "Let's go Yankees" throughout the whole stadium. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on and the whole time, because it's when you play the Yankees, especially in Texas, it's kind of crazy how many Yankees fans are there. But like I said, it's a extremely talented and amazing group to be a part of. They're such good players here. I think it's the way baseball goes is, it's kind of like a roller coaster like this, and hopefully with a couple additions and the way they've been playing lately, we can take off and make a run. And that's all I'm here to do, is just kind of help the team win any way I can. And that's what me and Booney have talked about. I'm not really familiar what has happened in the past or anything. I'm here now, and I'm trying to help the team get to the playoffs this year.
Thank you, Joey.
Thanks.
And you have the next question.
Hey, Joey, to follow up on that, just how excited do you feel to contend for a postseason spot, and how ready are you for that kind of race down the stretch?
Yeah, you think I'm very excited about that. It's been a few years since I really haven't really been in many playoff chases in my career, unfortunately. So I'm excited about that. It'll kind of be the first time in my career where there's that every game matters mentality. Not that it didn't in Texas, but it's, obviously we knew we weren't going to make the playoffs in September. We understood that. I think here, the goal is to make the playoffs, and the goal is to make a run into the playoffs and win a World Series. So, it's exciting to be a part of a team that's, we're trying to win, and that's the end goal at the end of the day.
Thank you.
We'll take a final question from Ken Davidoff.
Hey, Joey, I hate to be a pest about this. We just want to make sure we have our facts straight. So did your dad grow up in the area as well, or just your mom?
Yeah, no, my dad grew up in the area. I got to check and see where he was in the area, because I'm like I said, I'm not too familiar. But my whole family is New York. They ended up moving to Las Vegas, I think, in late 1980s, and that's where we ended up growing up. But my whole family, grandpa, grandma, aunt, uncle, everybody's was New York. So it's a whole New York family that I got.
Huh. Yeah, I'm looking at your Wikipedia page, Bensonhurst for your dad, and then it says your mom grew up close to your dad in Bensonhurst. Maybe they moved to Brentwood later.
Yeah, I think my mom had said that she moved to Brentwood later.
Okay.
But like I said, I have to get all my facts straight with that, because I'm still not familiar too much with New York and whatnot. But like I said, it's exciting to be here, though.
Okay, thank you.
We'll take one last one from Jack Curry.
Hey, Joey, could you describe how your relationship with Jason Giambi was formed, and just what kind of an influence he has been on you throughout your career?
Yeah, so my dad is a pitching coach. So Jason Giambi back in, I think it's 2000, 4-ish, 2003-ish, he had a hitting cage, batting cage in Las Vegas where he spent his off seasons and whatnot. And my dad worked at that batting cage as the pitching coach. So I got to know Jason just, a little bit, met him a few times, and I hit with him. I remember I was maybe 8 or 9 when I hit with him. And I remember him saying, wow, that kid's got a good swing, and like, wow, it's Jason Giambi. It's so cool. So then fast forward, we ended up actually going to Yankee Stadium. He sent us to Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, the last year of it. And then fast forward, I guess, I get drafted. And I'm working out at the facility, and Jason Giambi's there as well. He's still playing at the time, and got to know him really well, just working out with him. And I asked him one day, hey, can I hit with you? Can we hit together? And yeah, of course, Jason's just a stand-up guy. And, started hitting with him, got to know him really, really well the last 3 or 4 years. And, he's been a huge part of my success in my career, and a huge part coming here. I got to talk to him on the phone about an hour yesterday. So it's, he's excited for me, but it's crazy how it came full circle like that. Just started from like a little 9-year-old kid hitting with him, and then now he was pretty much my mentor, a few years ago. So it's pretty cool.
Just a quick follow-up. Within that hour conversation, what resonated the most? What stood out about what he told you?
Yeah, I think, all the conversation really was about was, hey, kid, be yourself, and you're a great player, play hard, and they'll love you there if you do that. And so for me, obviously a guy who played for the Yankees for a long time, it's nice to hear that. And everybody's been like that for me, and everybody's saying, hey, just be yourself, and just help us win games. And that's all we have to do here. So that's really it. That's all he was saying was, you're a great guy, you're a great player. Just continue to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.